is a world filled with equality, justice, kindness, and happiness for everyone.
What I hope is for students to learn how to use their voice to achieve their academic and personal goals.
What I hope for is to inspire.
What I hope for is to create awareness for the people in need so we can work together to have a better community.
Our world needs leaders that are willing to act in the face of injustice and further better the world in any way possible.
Our world needs leaders who are willing to speak up, who aren't afraid to talk about issues that matter to them.
Oh, I'm a student, and I believe that the world needs a leader who is able to listen to both the voices of minorities and majorities alike, both abled and disabled alike, both young and old alike, because one way or another, they shape today's society, and their voices need to be heard, because each and every one of our opinions matter.
In my community, the change I would like to see is greater acceptance and discussion over conflicting perspectives and experiences from people with different backgrounds, and the validation of those experiences, especially when it comes from youth or other people whose voices have been suppressed.
In my community, a change I'd like to see is more opportunities for youth to grow outside of the classroom, especially more opportunities that allow youth to be active in their communities and for youth to take advantage of those opportunities.
The change I want to see in my community is a bigger investment in education. The youth, me, my generation is the next generation to lead, and if you guys want us to lead well, we have to have a good education.
Hi, everybody. So I'm Anne-Marie from the Practice Space. And if you're tuning in, I'm so glad that you're able to join us for our first Facebook Live with one of our special programs, the Expressive Leaders Program. And if you're new to the Practice Space is a nonprofit in the Bay Area that's all about building confidence, and especially through public speaking skills and communication skills. And a big part of this program was thinking about how you're going to use your public speaking skills and your voice to make a change in the world. And one thing I've loved about working with these students is just how much hope they have. And so you'll hear today just the progress of their projects, and they're at different stages in their projects. The Expressive Leaders are ages 9 through 17. So we have 4 of them right now in this little panel session, and we had some earlier in the day. And so hopefully you can learn a little bit about their work and ask lots of questions in the comments, because they could definitely use the encouragement to keep their work going. So without further ado, we'll kick it off first with our youngest Expressive Leader, who's from San Pablo, California, and that's Jazmin Islas. So Jazmin, you can start sharing your screen.
Okay. I can't share my screen.
Oh. You can try again now. So while she's getting ready for that, one of the things that the Expressive Leaders, what they're doing through this program is they work together with a mentor, and they learn how to identify a problem and then think of a project that they're going to do to be able to enact that change. All right, Jazmin.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I hope this message finds you well. My name is Jazmin Islas. I am 10 years old and I am from San Pablo. My project is about homelessness. I was inspired by the people in need in my community, and I hope to have a better place to live for everyone. This is a picture taken on McDonald Avenue in Richmond. Some obstacles to end this social problem are that the homelessness in my community is growing. There are not enough public resources. Indifference. Some people don't care. Most people who care don't come together to find solutions. Here is a video taken on Richmond where a homeless settlement camp was cleared. My plan of action for this project to help the people in need in my community is to organize a food drive at my school, a clothing drive at my community church, and to fundraise writing and selling a book. Hopefully, the 2 drives will be done in a nearly future. Meanwhile, I'll be working on my book. Here's a sneak peek of my book that I would like to share with you. The title is Drops of Hope. Teresita's Food Drive. Life passes, society struggles grow. It looks like nobody has the time to stop and care for the problems, but a caring soul is rising to help one of the issues affecting the community. Homelessness. Who is this? Teresita Cruz, an elementary girl with a humble heart and passion to change her world. She and her friends will work together in adventurous community services and inspires others to help as well. To conclude my message, I would like to reflect on ways to contribute to solve a problem. We have to be true leaders that work with the community and speak up and share their ideas. We need to help each other out to help the people in need. We need support from families, friends, schools, and community in general to build an equal community where everyone meets their essential needs. And before I close out, I would like to leave you with a quote by Mother Teresa. We ourselves feel that what we are doing is just a drop in the ocean, but the ocean will be less because of that missing drop. Thank you.
Yay! Congratulations, Jazmin. I think one thing that Jazmin demonstrates today is just leadership can begin at any age and can also begin with some pretty ambitious ideas about some really important problems in society. Lots of comments so far for Jazmin. We have Christy Kuhn saying, so touching, Jazmin, such a strong and difficult topic. I am inspired by your ambition and can't wait to read your book. There's lots of people giving you thumbs up and yay, Jazmin. And so if you want to type in the comments, you can type a note of encouragement to Jazmin with her project. Or you can also type a comment about her issue. She's raising the issue about homelessness in her community. So feel free to type in a comment or a note for her. So our next leader is Anugrah Maris, and she is going to be doing a project that's more related to her school and how she can make change in her school. And while she gets set up, if you're just tuning in, we are live with the Expressive Leaders program with the Practice Space, which is a special group of young leaders who want to make change in their community. And we basically have been helping them for the last couple of months on how to create their projects. So you can learn a little bit more about Anna on this quote page here by her mentor, Elohiym. And without further ado, Anna, why don't you take it away?
Okay. Sorry. Okay, so my name is Anugrah Maris, and today I'm going to be telling you about my project. Okay, so my project, I would like to make an after-school program for elementary and middle school girls at my school, teach them about public speaking, debate, as well as aspects of STEM. I have seen that many people at my school they don't know how to communicate well, especially to adults, so I'd like to teach them to do that. As you can see in this diagram, 24% of women are in the STEM industry and only 1 in 7 women are engineers. I hope to raise those numbers. I would like to make this program to show more girls about STEM. I hope to try to raise the percentage of women in STEM by showing girls at my school STEM and showing them the disciplines and endless possibilities. Even though I won't be able to raise 10% or a lot, I know that by showing them, they can learn about what they will be able to do in their future. Okay, so topics. I would like to mainly focus on STEM or STEAM, which is science, technology, engineering, art, and math. And then and debate in my after-school program. I would like to teach girls about powerful figures in each field, along with making paintings, taking apart old computers and TVs, and learning about climate change and many other things relating to the topics. So for the design of my project, I would like to start with some sort of stretcher warm-up that we do at the practice space, and then follow by working on a project such as researching about climate change, how we can do better. And I would like to do STEM or STEAM related things, as I was saying. And for the remaining time, learning about women in the fields that we're going to be covering and taking apart an old computer. Struggles. So I struggled with managing my time and adapting to the pandemic. At first, I wanted to do a in-person program at my school, but now that we can't do that, I'm gonna do a online program with Zoom and Google Classroom. And I had to change a lot of my activities because I was thinking of doing like team building and things such like that, but I'm not going to be able to do that. And I'm going to make a Google Classroom to post projects and stuff to do. So maybe it could be like making a slideshow on how you can do better with climate change, or seeing how the coronavirus gets to other people, like many different things. I also struggled with making time to do everything in designing my project. At first, I didn't know what a lesson plan would be good, since I'm focusing on a wide variety of grades. So I struggled with that, but then I found things that everybody can do. I hope to have accomplished my after-school program by the next year. Thank you for listening.
Excellent. Thank you, Anna, for sharing that project. I appreciate your honesty with, sometimes it's hard to do a project, and it's a struggle to keep it moving, even when there are obstacles in your way. If you're just tuning in, we are halfway through our 2 p.m. session with the Expressive leaders who are presenting about their projects that they're doing in their community. And Jazmin just presented about a food drive and a book fundraiser that she's going to do to help with homelessness, and Anna's creating a club at her school to promote more girls being involved in STEM education. Quick question, Anna, not to put you on the spot or anything, but I'm curious about, I've always wanted to know why you're so interested in science, technology, engineering, and math yourself, STEM.
I think it's really cool. I think that there's a lot of scientists that are not represented, and I'd like to help that. And I really like engineering and math and art and technology, and it's cool to learn about it.
Nice. So if you are a woman who is also interested in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, or supportive of girls learning STEM, type into the comments, give her a little bit of some thumbs up. There's already some comments that are coming in here already about the importance of women leadership. So keep it coming, send comments to Anna. So next, after Anna, we have Ella Bramwell, who's representing Richmond, California, a student at El Cerrito High School, and she's going to be presenting her project, which is a podcast.
Hi, sorry. Okay, hi, I'm Ella, and yeah, I'm a rising senior at El Cerrito High School. Okay, so for my project, I decided to focus on how public education is funded in California, but also kind of specifically talking about the West Contra Costa Unified School District, which is where I go to school and where I've always gone to school. I guess you could say that's kind of my inspiration for it. Like, this is where I grew up. This is my district. I know a lot of people who work in the district. My parent works in the district. Like, it's my community, very much so. And so my goal with this project, and I decided to make a podcast about it. And my goal was and is to create recognition for what is going on in our school district with public education funding, how underfunded public education really is, and kind of get people interested and listening and thinking about what's going on with that. So I right now have a 4-episode plan for my podcast. I have done my intro, which we'll listen to part of it in just a second. And then my second, third, and fourth podcast all focus sort of on specific topics that are going to experience budget cuts or are currently experiencing budget cuts. So big one is the arts, also class size, and then support systems that are in schools, such as libraries, counselors, security guards, any sort of thing like that. With this project, when I felt like a leader, was definitely like creating my podcast and trying to get it out there. And it's not out there yet. I haven't quite gotten to that spot, but it was really fun to interview people and listen to different people's opinions about these topics and what they're thinking and how, and so I talked to a lot of students and how they talked a lot about how the budget cuts and the underfunded public education affects their experience in education. So we're gonna listen to I'm not sure if it'll be a minute of this, but we'll listen to a bit of my podcast.
Welcome to sunny California, home to roughly 40 million people. We boast the largest economy in the US and the 5th largest in the world, right there behind Germany. Here we have big cities, redwoods, beaches, deserts, and mountains. We are home to people from every corner of the earth. Yet in one basic way, we are failing majorly: our public education. We have over 1,000 K-12 public schools with over 6 million students. California spends about $10,500 per student, but that's about $1,000 behind the national average. Many districts throughout California are facing crippling deficits, and it doesn't seem to be getting any better. Hi, my name is Ella. I'm a junior at El Cerrito High School, and welcome to my podcast.
Okay, so there's a little clip of my first podcast. And so what I'm hoping to do in the coming days and in the over the summer is to finish my other podcasts first, but then also get my podcast either onto iTunes or Spotify, so it's out there for people to listen to. And my hope is to get everyone in the community, not just people who are directly connected to the schools like parents or students or teachers, but everyone in our community, because we are the youth of this community, and you need to be involved in our education if you want a future that is good for everyone. Yeah, and then thank you. My podcast is not out yet, but hopefully it will be out very, very soon. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Ella. I'm curious, when you're making, this was the first time you made a podcast, right?
Yes.
Yes. So was there anything that was either easier or harder than you expected?
I procrastinated a lot. That was probably the biggest problem. And then figuring out how to use the audio editing software took a minute, but once I figured out how to do it, it was pretty easy. So those were the two things.
Yeah, and then also when you were interviewing people, were there any surprises with this issue about public education when you were interviewing people, or was it more just it kind of confirmed what you had always felt?
It pretty much confirmed what I had already thought. I talked to students who go to my school, and they were feeling a lot of the same things. So yeah, it was pretty similar to myself.
Excellent. Well, thank you. If you are just tuning in, please type in the comments around public education. There are already people sending in some comments, but Ella just presented her podcast, which is highlighting the importance of different funding support that's needed for public education, which is really hard right now with the current budget deficit. So if you can type in either a message of support around public education to Ella or just about her project in general, that would be really appreciated, I think, from everyone. So also in terms of our projects, you've seen quite a bit of a range. We've seen programs, we've seen podcasts, there, Jazmin's writing a book. So there's a huge range of these projects, but I think what they all have in common is that it's something that they see in their everyday life that is really important to solve. So for our final presenter for this session, we have Elohiym Muddavanha, who's representing American Canyon High School. He's a 9th grader there, just finished his first year. And he's going to be talking about the importance of debate in creating a team. So you can take it away, Elohiym.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Elohiym Muddavanha. I'm 15 years old now. When they made this quote, I was 14. That's why it says 14 years old. My project was an interactive demo hosted by the Golden Debaters, which is a debate group that I started last year when I was in the 8th grade. And I'm continuing to help them. I started them at my middle school, and I'm continuing to help them from my high school right now. So the Golden Debaters interactive demo was a recruitment demo to get people interested in the idea of public speaking and debate. It was to show them that not only did they have a voice, but they were also it was easy for them to get into it, and people would actually listen to them, and their voice had an effect on people. A quote that I used for this project is, "Don't forget, one of the saddest things in life is wasted potential," because everybody has the potential to be a public speaker, but not everybody goes the extra leap and tries. And even if you're not going to speak in front of huge crowds, even just speaking in front of your family and your friends and speaking up in your classroom is being a public speaker in its own right. My goals for this, I had 4 main goals. The first was to give the members of the Golden Debaters from my old middle school a chance to inspire others. My second goal was to inspire the people who were in the demo to join the world of public speaking. My third goal was to show people that their voice can affect people. Their voice mattered. People were listening to them. And my fourth goal was to spread the name of the Golden Debaters, because we need more outreach, because we want to get as many people involved in debate as possible. The actual demo was a compilation of the members of the Golden Debaters telling stories and monologues, some of the more well-known forms of public speaking, and also we had an issue speech. And then after each one of these events, there was also a short interactive event, like a game, to get people interested in the idea of public speaking themselves, and not just watching other people do it. Because it's one thing to just see somebody do it, but it's another thing to try it yourself. My timeline for this, I had originally planned to do a novice tournament for people who weren't interested in speech and debate to try it out. But because of COVID-19, I had to switch it up into this. And so I started on May 19th with the practicing of the people and trying to get the word out about this event. And the actual demonstration was on June 6th. It was from 2 p.m. to 2:30 p.m., which ended up being shorter than I had originally planned, but it balanced out. The first event was word chain, where the participants, one person would say a word, and the other person had to say a word that began with the last letter of the last word. The reason I chose this event is because it aligns with the idea of not only speaking up yourself, but also listening to other people. Because you have to say the words yourself, and you have to not be afraid to say them in front of people, but you also have to listen to everyone else in order to say the next word. It sort of embodies the idea of how in public speaking, you not only have to step up and speak up yourself, but you also have to let yourself be affected by other people. The second event was tongue twisters. This was more of a silly one. It was really fun. It was mostly just to get some giggles, but also I wanted people to see that it's okay to make mistakes, because almost nobody got any of the tongue twisters right the first time. So especially the harder ones. So I wanted to show the people that they can make mistakes. And tongue twisters really goes into monologues because you have to do a lot of pronunciation. So it was sort of ties into that too. But it was mostly so that they could see that they could speak up and make a mistake, and no one would criticize them for it. Because they were all laughing together. Nobody felt hurt when somebody laughed at them because they were laughing at each other. At the end of the demo, I received feedback because I want to make this an annual event where it can happen, where I can keep doing it over and over, and each time I can make it better and go off of what people are saying. So the 5 main points of feedback that I really wanted to focus on was to incorporate more debate, like a mock debate, because I mostly focused on speech. The second one was to lengthen the events to include more performances, because people really liked watching the other people perform. The third one was to be more assertive with timing, because I was kind of getting loose with timing, and it would make the events run smoother. The fourth one was to have more advertisements for the event, because I want as many people to join this as possible, because as many people can join the debating room. The next one kind of ties into that, because I needed to create an order for the participants to speak in when there was a group event that everyone had to participate in, instead of taking volunteers. So as the more people are gonna go in, I need to make an order for them to do the events in, so it'll be more fun. In closing, thank you for everyone who has helped me with this project. And if you're interested in participating in the next one, no matter what age you are, no matter where you come from, everyone should be able to do speech and debate. So if you want to participate in the next event, please contact me. We have an Instagram, the Golden Debaters. It's underscores in between each letter. My Gmail is popdayman. I know it's weird. popdayman@gmail.com. But I made it when I was a little kid, so. And my phone number is 510-776-8200. Please do not be afraid to contact me. I would really appreciate any feedback or anyone who would like to step up in helping me design the next event. Thank you.
Thank you, Elohiym. For those who are listening, Elohiym is now doing, this is your second team that you're starting because you started one at your middle school first. It was really interesting to see how much that grew in only a couple of years, from 10 students to about 20 students. And so I'm curious just about your project. Why do you think speech and debate is important in your life?
I think speech and debate is important because if you're anywhere and you don't have your opinions heard, it can really cause you to feel way less needed, and it can make you feel like you don't matter. So if you get to experience somebody actually listening to you and taking in what you're saying and actually being affected by it, it's a huge boost in confidence.
Yes, definitely. And I could see that with your peers. Thanks for sharing that, Elohiym. There are a lot of comments. And actually, if you haven't typed in a comment yet, thank you for those who have. I think for this next one, just type in a comment about why public speaking would be important in your life, and getting better at it, why that would be important. So again, if you are tuning in, we've reached the end of our session, but I wanted to ask a couple of questions to our panelists here, just to find out a little bit more about you guys as leaders. So anyone can jump in. But I guess for you, you've been listening to all the 13 leaders who are all doing lots of very different kinds of projects. So what are some of the things that you've learned from watching the other students do their projects? Yeah, Anna.
I have learned that there are many ways to be a leader, like not just with a program.
Okay. Yeah, Jazmin.
Yeah, it's similar to Anna's, like we really got to know each other by themselves, like being a leader. So like you know them as a leader and like as your friend also.
Yeah, leaders and friends. And for the rest of you guys, I'm curious, just especially if people join late, I'm curious if you could say a little bit more about why you think your project is important. Yeah, Anna.
I think my project is important because it can teach kids to be more confident in communicating with teachers or other kids or people that you don't know. And it teaches you about the possibilities of a job you may be doing in the near future.
Yeah, definitely. What about others? Why is your project important to you?
I think my project is important to me because I really believe that education sets everyone up for their future, and in turn, because like my generation is the next generation to lead, like it sets up the future for everyone else too. And so education we get now really, really impacts everyone.
Yes, Jazmin.
I think that my project is important because like people need to know their community and know that it's in trouble, that they need help to make it better.
Yes, definitely. We have to be helpers. A couple of comments are on the Facebook wall. I see a lot of people saying that that they're really, really glad to hear your youth voices. Moose says, wonderful to hear these youth voices. Thank you for sharing your ideas and speaking up. Chani says, incorporating constructive criticism into your program is really important for growth. Great job. That was over to Elohiym. Lots of great job, Elohiym, and people will be contacting you, which is great. And in general, too, you know, a lot of people liked your quotes about you have to let yourself be affected by other people and listen to others when you're doing public speaking. So lots of people really excited also that we need advocates for public education, Ella. So just really, you know, props there. And it was a big topic. And so thank you for the beginning of your podcast. Public education needs our support, also from Moose. And so I think also just thinking about another question, I know sometimes right now, people are really struggling because the world is, you know, so uncertain and we're unsure about what to do. So what gives you guys hope? Yeah, Jazmin.
I know that I have hope for my project because I got support by my family, and that's the most important thing.
Yeah, so your family gives you hope. Ella, what gives you hope?
I think just like in this time, we've really seen how people have come together from all sorts of different backgrounds, but there's been a lot of there's just been a lot of people coming together to help each other out and to support each other across the country and across the world as we went into this pandemic that no one had ever dealt with before. And so that gives me hope.
Yeah, Anna, what gives you hope?
I think that leaders give me hope, like the governor and my teachers and you and many like leaders in my family.
Mm-hmm. Good to have those role models. Elohiym, what drives you? What gives you hope?
What gives me hope is that there are people who are willing to, even though they're afraid, they're willing to put their voices out there and be heard. And that's just like something that's really powerful.
Yes. Well, you guys give me hope. I really love to hear your projects. They've come a long way. They're all in different stages, but that's what the work is like. It gets done in lots of different ways, and you guys have shown the power of hard work and being flexible and adaptable. So thank you everyone for listening. Tune into our last session at 4 p.m. These are pretty quick sessions, so 30 minutes or so just to show support for our young voices and the hard work that they've been doing over the last few months as part of the Practice Spaces programs. So thank you everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you again at 4. Thanks, Expressive Leaders.